In honor of Donald Trump, who was indicted and will theoretically have to, unless he manages to get around that. And I'm not going to tell you if I'm right wing, left wing Republican. I've never said that in 25 years, and nobody I've worked with has ever known, and you won't either. But it gives us a good jumping off point. If there was any one person in Tennessee athletics that you could have under oath and they have to be 100% honest, who are you sitting down? Who is under oath and they have to be honest? They cannot throw you some rigmarole. We're not getting political. We're not. But if there's one former Vol, Tom, I promise you that. There's one former Vol you could have under oath, and you got an hour to question him, and he has to be honest. He can't dance around the said subject. That's 4 downs. So we start with that. Brought to you by Andy Mason, AndyMasonRealEstate.com. He'll save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on a home. Caleb has the most just, I don't know, like inquisitive kind of thinking look. He's excited about this topic, I can tell. But AndyMasonRealEstate.com, best service, best biz in real estate in East Tennessee. That is pretty awesome. So one guy that you could have under oath as we get to 4 downs. Already a vote for Philip Fulmer saying hands down. I expected that one to come, and he probably would be my pick because the Johnny Majors transition was before me. So I don't know a lot of that other than what I've been told by great reporters like Jimmy Himes that covered it. But one person sitting down under oath, you get the inside skinny. They can be a player or a coach, an administrator. That's right. Oh, good point by Smoky Mountain Red. Fulmer could address T. Martin. He could address the Pruitt questions. He could also address the Johnny Majors, Ouster. That's a tough one to top. All right, Caleb, who's your one guy that you sit down and he has to sit there for 5 hours and answer Caleb questions, and they have to be 100% honest?
This is, I mean, I hate to do this. I hate to be like everybody else, but it's got to be Fulmer, right? Like it's me. It's Fulmer for me.
I know. I wanted to be different. It filled up the message board, but I forgot about the T. Martin thing. For those that don't know, is highly alleged that T. Martin did take cash as a prospect. The debate was whether or not he was a prospect because it was between his sophomore and junior year, and it was a Tennessee booster. Of course, they gave him money to come to Tennessee.
But see, it's not just that. See, what I'd want to ask him. You want to ask him about the Johnny Major saga. There's so many scandals involved with, not scandals, but like dramatic things that happened in Tennessee while he was there. Like what I want to ask him is, because it was rehashed in 2016, I want to ask him what he knows about the lawsuit that the trainer filed against Tennessee, because Fulmer was named in it at one point.
I have one better. It's Peyton Manning. I want to know exactly what happened with the trainer incident, because we've heard anywhere from a mooning to physical sexual assault contact. I would like, and unfortunately, I've talked to Jamie Whited. She called me all the time to try to get me to pub her side of the story. And she's a little crazy, but I would like to know Peyton Manning's side of the story. I know his side of the story. I'd like to know the absolute truth. So that would be mine above Fulmer. You beat me on that.
You could also ask him, was he glad at heart that Tennessee won the 98 national title, or was he upset because it was the year after he left? That's what I'd want to ask Peyton.
That's pretty good too. Is there a little part of him that is like, Dad, blame it, they won it without me? Yeah. All right. So coming up on the YouTube channel today, it'll be Cooper Mays, but Cooper Mays gets us all set for 4 downs right now. Cooper, what down is it, sir?
Coop here. First down.
Thank you. We appreciate that, Coop. All right, so first down, the question you would ask out of the Fulmer era if Philip Fulmer's sitting on the witness stand. The one question.
It is the Johnny Major saga.
Did you purposefully? Well, I believe that is true. So mine's the T. Martin. The message board won me over again. Mine would be, were you aware of T. Martin getting payments? Because ultimately that led to a national championship.
I'm sorry. I just saw Ruggy Top Tom's message. I'm dying.
Yeah. Rocky Top says he'd be over the moon for Tennessee to win one, referring to the mooning incident. So, one question during the Philip Fulmer era, what would you ask Philip?
Okay, I'm going to ask him this. Were you purposely splitting Tennessee apart in 1992 to get the head coaching job? Did you maybe throw a game here or there against Arkansas or South Carolina?
Okay. I don't think he did that. I wouldn't go with that verbiage, but I would be interested. Here's the question I have, because I think he did push to have majors removed. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can bring more people in. The question that I think's interesting is, would you have left Tennessee had you not got the job? Because he flirted with a lot of NFL teams as an offensive line coach. I don't think that he really was ever going to leave, but if he would have gotten passed over, much like John Chavis, when John Chavis didn't get a head coaching job, he realized it wasn't going to happen. Does Philip Fulmer go to a smaller school? Does he, he coached 1 year at Vanderbilt. Does he get hired by Vanderbilt? This is how much things could change with one decision about Johnny Majors. Does he go somewhere else? Quite possible. Second down, Cooper Mays.
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
All right, so if you'll notice, Cooper begins to give himself more credit as he goes. So the Kiffin year/era.
The most cocaine-filled year ever.
One question that you could ask Lane Kiffin, and he would have to answer it under oath. That's second down.
How many women did you sleep with when you were head coach at Tennessee?
I can't argue with that. Third down, Cooper Mays. I mean, I know the rest of the stuff. So,
who was the hottest? Who was the hottest one?
Yes. Were there any pseudo celebrities in the group? All right. Third down.
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
That's right, Coop. Thank you. Nice snap. Butch Jones. What's the one question you would ask him?
Did you force Chris Weather to play when you knew he had a concussion?
Okay, that's way too easy. I'm going with, when did you realize you were a sociopath? And he has to answer it. So I may need a psychologist there to work us through it. But I think if he had to answer in reality, he would say probably around the age of 14 when I was dissecting roadkill like Jeffrey Dahmer.
I would say, I would actually do one better. I would be like, hey, you're on the stand, but you have to count to 14 for me. Because, when he went for the extra point instead of went for 2 against Florida, because he didn't know the difference between 13 and 14 points.
Yes. All right, Cooper, it's a possession down. By the way, when Cooper and I were doing these drops, I told him, I said, possession down, fourth down. He goes, what's a possession down? Am I the only one that's heard that term? Have you heard that term, Caleb?
Yes, but I didn't actually know what it meant, funny enough. So
yeah, it's if you lose that down, you lose possession. So fourth down. Anyway.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
Thank you, Coop. The Pruitt era, the one question you would ask.
I mean, the obvious one is, how many players did you pay?
Yeah. Yeah, I would ask that. And the other question, why did you get your wife involved? Seriously, why did you? Because you've got hostesses running around that could do that. You've got ancillary players. You've got people in the recruiting department that aren't even paid. I don't know why his wife got involved.
And particularly given the fact that he coached under Jimbo Fisher, why do you want football players around your wife, man? I mean, I'm sorry.
I don't. As it turns out, Robert Peace married one of Philip Fulmer's daughters, and that was great. But for the most part, I don't want players around my wives or daughters. That's just me. And I don't have multiple
ask Jimbo
wives.
Fisher how that worked out.
Didn't work out well. It didn't work out well. And it didn't. I don't think it worked out particularly well for Michael Jordan when he was at Michael's in Knoxville back in about 1992. But we won't get into that. People talking about Jimmy Butler. Is he a loved son of Michael Jordan? There's a love daughter in Knoxville. I'll be the first to tell you that, but that's an absolute fact. Coop, what do people need to do?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.